Hey everyone, I'm back. If you want more of a channel update, stay tuned after this video, but for viewer attention purposes, I'm just gonna start talking about Ant-Man now. I was actually so hyped for this movie. I love Catherine Newton, as you can see in the poster behind me, and I like the other Ant-Man movies. I like Paul Rudd. The trailer got me really hyped for it. And then I watched it, and it fell into the trap that a couple other Marvel movies have fallen into recently, and that is just being one continuous chase scene. If you don't know what I mean, I'm going to explain it right now, and I'm going to also spoil the whole movie. So here we go. We start with Scott at a book signing. He gets a call, Cassie's in jail. He goes to jail, he gets her out, they have a family dinner that night. Then they go into the basement, Cassie shows him, ooh, look at this quantum realm thing. They get sucked in, they go to the quantum realm, and this is where the majority of the movie takes place. Not once do they sleep, a day goes by, it's just continuous action until they get out of the quantum realm, and then the movie ends. Now I get it, the quantum realm's whole point is time doesn't exist, so how do we know how many hours has it been if a day has gone by? But I'm just assuming, since we never see any of these people sleep, maybe you don't need to sleep in the quantum realm. But it's all one continuous action based on how it's edited, and that's what I'm going to assume it is, that there are no breaks, it's just continuously going. And then yeah, the movie ends, and it's like, wow, that was action packed, but what else was there to offer? I like the direction they were hinting at about Ant-Man's character arc in this movie, is that he only cares about his family and he'll do anything to save his family, especially Cassie, but when it comes to other people, he doesn't really care. And I think that's really cool because, as we all know, he really looks up to Captain America, and of course, Captain America would help other people in need that he doesn't know. But the difference between Ant-Man and Captain America is Ant-Man has a daughter, a wife, and a family, and Captain America is just alone in this new world, and so he saves people. So I think that's a really interesting topic to play with, but instead it's just continuously go, 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 and then it ends, and it's like, well, he saved Cassie, because Cassie was in danger the whole time. So were the other people, but was he really saving the other people, or was he just trying to save Cassie? We don't know. But I'm not really here to review the movie. I'm here to talk about the chase scene problem. And the other two movies that I think fall into this are Multiverse of Madness and Thor: Love and Thunder. Multiverse of Madness starts with Steven being like, oh, I'm not happy, and then he goes to a wedding, and then, oh, look, the monster comes, he finds America Chavez. The rest of the movie is just them running from Wanda. I don't think they sleep or they eat pizza balls, but they just keep going, and then, defeat Wanda. And that's the movie. They're continuously on the run, which I think would be a fun concept, is a fun chase scene across the multiverse. But the only thing is they spend the majority of the time in one universe instead of exploring more of them, which is a critique that has been said several times before, but just thought I'd mention it here. For Thor: Love and Thunder, he's hanging out with the Guardians at the beginning, and then he goes back, Gore comes, the kids get kidnapped, and then he finds Jane, who now has Mjolnir, and then the rest of the movie is just trying to get the kids back. I think with Ant-Man, Thor, and Doctor Strange, the big problem is that they just come face to face with the protagonist at the very beginning of the movie. Thor sees Gore, Steven sees Wanda, and technically Ant-Man doesn't meet Kang until really, really late in the movie, but his presence is just there, and they know that he's there. Well, actually, they don't know because Janet won't tell them anything, but they know there is some threat chasing them, and they have to run away. And my friend summed it up perfectly when she said, it's like if Loki opened the portal in the sky and started attacking New York within the first 20 minutes of the Avengers. Because then the rest of the movie would just be the Avengers being on the run and attacking and fighting until they've won. But we all know the main reason why the Avengers movie succeeded is because we saw all these different characters talk and interact with each other just sitting in a room. And we like the characters so much that we want to hear what they say and also watch them fight later on. The whole thing doesn't have to be them fighting. Now let me address something you may be thinking about that I haven't talked about yet. Spider-Man: No Way Home. Yes, the villains show up fairly early within the movie, but here's the difference. First, the setup is way different, to where it picks up right where the last movie left off. There's the whole chase scene, and then he has to, go to the police and then talk to a lawyer, and then he's worried about getting into college and goes to high school and all that stuff. And then the villains show up, and then when they do show up, he gets them all, and then they spend a majority of the movie trying to cure them. And then that's interesting because he actually is sitting down in a room with someone else, the villains in this case, and talking to them. And then they have an interaction. And then by the end of the movie, they're all fighting. They get cured. Toby and Andrew are there, and they call it a day. I think the main difference between Spider-Man versus Thor and Doctor Strange is that he genuinely has something to do when he's not being a superhero. He goes to high school. He's applying to college. He has to maintain a relationship with his girlfriend, his aunt, his best friend. He has things to do when he's not being Spider-Man. What is Doctor Strange doing when he's not Doctor Strange? Nothing? What's Thor doing when he's not fighting bad guys? Nothing? What's Ant-Man doing when he's not fighting bad guys? They kind of established in the second movie that he now has a security company, but then they don't mention that at all and don't bring back those characters. And now he's just an author who's really, conceited, I guess. I think the problem is people just don't know how to write these characters outside of being in a fight scene. Because now that we got their origin story done with, we just think they've had their character arc. It's like, oh, Stephen Strange actually cares about other people now because that was his arc in his origin movie. And Thor went through a big arc between the first movie and Infinity War / Endgame, and now that that's done, they don't know what to do with him. Ant-Man, just still his arc is just caring about Cassie and being a better dad. So if you're not picking up what I'm putting down by now, what I'm saying is just I wish these Marvel movies today took several days for the plot to happen. Just show them sleeping once. You can introduce the bad guy in the movie early, that's fine. Just be like, oh, I know the bad guy's gonna carry out his evil plan in a week, so we have 1 week to prepare and take him down, and then show that week. That's all I'm asking for, is just people sitting down and talking, because people really like these characters. All the Phase 4 movies that successfully just aren't one long chase scene. And first we got Shang-Chi and the Eternals, both of which are more or less origin stories, so those don't really count because they're getting their character arcs set up, and, obviously they're going to discover their powers and do this and that, and, Eternals takes a really long time to do it, so those don't really count because they're origin stories. But then we have Black Widow and Wakanda Forever. Say what you want about Black Widow, but at the end of the day, look, they're sitting down at a table talking. That's all I want. So good job, Black Widow. And for Wakanda Forever, I think it also sort of falls into a weird category as to they don't really have a Black Panther yet until the very end of the movie. And I think it could have been a very different movie if they did have a Black Panther at the beginning. It could have fallen into a chase scene sort of plot. I don't know. But it did take its time. It takes place over several days. Sure, we see Namor very early on, but I think they did a good job of being like, hey, he'll come back, we need to prepare. And then they show them preparing. So good job. One last movie that I forgot to mention is Infinity War. Yes, this movie is just one long chase scene. Squidward comes pretty early on in the movie, like at the very beginning, and then from then on, it's just continuous action and chase scenes. But I think the difference there is that it was earned. There was a buildup of several movies, several phases, and then they all paid off. Awesome. That works. I'm totally fine with Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars just being one continuous fight, chase scene, whatever, and I'm sure that they are going to be. But you have to earn that with these movies right now, with Multiverse of Madness, with Quantumania, by showing the stepping stones that it takes to get to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. But right now you're just showing me a bunch of action sequences where the good guy beats the bad guy, and then it ends. I want to know what these characters are thinking, what they're going through, having arcs all the way till Secret Wars, and that's that. Thank you for watching. If you're staying this long, I'm about to give a channel update, so while you listen to me, like and subscribe. Wink, wink. Basically, yeah, I haven't uploaded in a while. Life got crazy, I got busy, whatever, but the gist is that I couldn't realistically keep up uploading weekly. I'm proud of myself that I did continuously upload weekly for as long as I did, but at the end of the day, I wasn't really happy with those quality of videos. I thought they were interesting topics that in reality I really would have loved to flesh out more and spent even more time on them and more time editing them. So that's why I took down a few videos that I wasn't super proud of, but I left everything else up, so you can go back, watch that, or watch it if you haven't seen it. So yeah, I can't definitively say I have an upload schedule right now. I'm just gonna basically make videos that I want to make when I want to make them, and then take time editing them and making sure they're good. Take time researching them, making sure what I'm saying isn't just me rambling like, well, this video was. I have some really cool ideas that I'm interested in making videos about. I'm just gonna have to find time to do it, and I'll do it, I promise, because I like doing this. And I think I'm gonna like it a lot more now that I'm not under the pressure of weekly uploads. So I think this will lead more to quality uploads than quantity, and hopefully you're cool with that. There's a lot of videos still on the channel that you can binge in the meantime. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.